Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Stock. Today I would like to talk to you about some of the purchases that I made during some of the early hours of trading. It was just before market open that I put my orders in. I took a look to see what was taking place, and I think I actually set the last one maybe somewhere between 9:15 and 9:20, so it was not long before the 9:30 bell, and that was something that really worked out for me. I can't wait to tell you guys about these stocks. Stick around, let's get ready to rock. Welcome back. For those of you who are interested, down in the description is a link to my Patreon. Recently we've hit that 100 member mark, and that was pretty awesome. Now it's pushing on to that 200 member mark, really to expand the community that we have. I'll tell you what, during these past few days, even I'd say the past even 2 weeks or so, the conversations that have been blossoming out of it and the people's personalities that are coming out, and just the interest that comes along with talking about the different stocks, the different sectors, different indices, different trading strategies, those are all just, I mean, it's incredible to watch it really take shape. That it's really building up to be a community of its own, and it's really cool to watch it happen. And if you guys would like to come and be a part of that, you get access to my growth stock portfolio, which, man oh man, I'll tell you what, in January was looking pretty good, right? Compared to January, it might be down a little bit, but that ride that we took up, followed by the ride down, it's a 3 to 5 year time horizon on it, so I'm not too worried in the short term about the big hits that we took to that. I think we're going to see a lot more strength coming out of 2021 than we saw during this time right now, but that doesn't mean we can't take advantage of some other things. So that's over there. Dividend portfolio is also over there. That one's been a rock star. It's been very easy, very even compared to what we see in the growth stock portfolio, and not too many people actually look at that one because it's boring. It doesn't really move too much from day to day. So there's that over there. Also the weekly watch list of stocks that I put out every week, including the stocks that the patrons suggest, so the other ones, so other stocks that you would like to suggest and share with the other members of the community, just to keep an eye on. Maybe people want to do their due diligence, research, whatever, and really just watch how those stocks take place, how they play out throughout the week. It's been a really fun thing. All that is also posted on my newsletter that I put out every week, and I just recently started doing Patreon exclusive videos, content that you won't see here on YouTube. I have 2 videos out in that series so far, and I have a 3rd one coming up this weekend. I'm excited about it. It's a lot of fun, and it's neat to engage with the community differently than what we would have here in YouTube. It's a little bit more intimate, a little bit more close, and I really like the way that it's shaping up. I gotta move on. Also down in the description is a link for Webull. By signing up and depositing $100, you get 2 free stocks. And also for the referral, I get 2 free stocks. So if you'd like to invest in that trading platform, you get free money just for doing it. And then also you have access to really a lot of quality tools that are in there. It's what I use in my videos when you see me showing the charts and stuff like that. So if you want to check it out, go ahead and do that. Finally, subscribe, hit the notification bell, hit the like button, share it with your friends. Let's get on to the stocks. All right, just a quick look at the markets that we have here between the S&P, Dow Jones, NASDAQ, and this again is in Webull. I expanded the screen so you could see it nice and big, and you could see just that drop off that we had, and man oh man, especially for the growth stocks, the things that you would find, a lot of them in like the Russell 2000, for example, they really have been taking it hard recently, and the NASDAQ, we can see some of that turmoil, or even across all 3 of these indices, you can see that taking place. And we had that slow steady climb, a little bit of a dip in the middle there out of the NASDAQ, but then we ended up really finishing about almost close to even from what we had before. So the NASDAQ was about 0.12%, 0.65 for the Dow Jones, so not bad, and 0.56 for the S&P. So we had some pretty good movement. It started off a little bit rough, but we ended up closing pretty well, I would say, for the markets in general. With the weak start that we had and with the big sell-off that we had yesterday, so between yesterday's sell-off and some of that coming into the market to start the day, we ended up having some buying opportunities. Now, something that took place for me yesterday, in my video I said that I would be buying some companies in the after hours, and it just didn't end up happening because I had to take care of family obligations. So I was like, well, hopefully those buying opportunities still exist when the next day happens, when the trading back opens in the pre-market on Thursday, and I happen to be fortunate. So one thing that I was able to see was ARK Invest tossed in another 1.2 million shares yesterday during the trading day, so Wednesday. And so when I saw that, I was like, well, I already like Palantir. I'm already invested, and this thing was bottoming out around, well, 2102 it says was the low for the day, and that looks like it happened during the pre-market hours. And I ended up getting in on this one at 21. I have the order right here. It was 21.31. So I'm already ending the day for that one up at 22.53. So even if this was a stock that I just treated as an intraday trade where I just let it ride all day long, it would have turned out pretty well. I don't trade like that. I don't even know that I would want to trade it that way. That for me, this is again is a long-term hold. It helps bring down my dollar cost average that I have for Palantir for my position, because I think already it was around like $24. Now I just bought some more shares at $21, so that's starting to bring that cost down, making it much easier for me to see gains in my portfolio. And well, we all like gains, don't we? The next stock that I'll share with you is PayPal, and let me go out to the daily chart for this one where we can see a little bit more. So this one, not the greatest looking chart that we have here. They peaked at $309, and then they ended up bottoming out down here. I think I get on this one again. I have the order here, 231.72. Oh no, I'm sorry, 232.72 is where I got in on this one, and so that was a little bit higher than I would have liked. That was up here. As a matter of fact, let's just go back to intraday. We can see it more. So this one, my order ended up getting filled. I think it was a little bit later in the day by the time that order went off. Maybe during this candle that we had, it took longer than the other ones because I had it set a little bit higher. And so this one was probably the worst as far as intraday goes. But again, these would be long-term holds, and I believe that this is one that's going to recover for us nicely. And it was just a small position. We don't know how long the volatility is going to continue. I think Kathy Wood in her one interview today, I think she said maybe another 6 months, and 2021, I think we'll see the recovery sometime, whether it happens, later in Q2 or into Q3 of 2021. We should see a lot of strength come back to the tech stocks, and PayPal being one of those tech plays. I think we're going to see a lot of that strength come back our way as the money rotates back into the tech stocks. All right, the next one that I jumped into this morning, I jumped into Roblox. And again, I meant to get into it yesterday in the after hours. I said that I wanted it to be closer to 60. It was in the mid 60s, and I was like, well, all right. But then I was never able to put my orders in to grab a few of those shares. And it worked out anyway because I was able to grab it at the market open. And this time I was fortunate because I grabbed it near the bottom. So for this one, my order for Roblox was filled at $61.83. I wouldn't say that I was fortunate I would say that I was fortunate in timing the market. I wouldn't necessarily call this skill. So right across the bottom where we see that sort of intraday support that we have between the pre-market and the open, that's where I got in, and I think it was a really good placement. This double top resist that we see in it, we also see the resistance over here. The stock is very reluctant right now to break 70. I think under the right market conditions, we're back up over 70. And even though it's a long-term hold for me, again, being able to add it to the growth portfolio was something that I was excited to do. I didn't want to touch it above 70. I was glad to get it pretty darn close to 60. So depending on what we see in the market overall, I don't know if this will ever drop down below 60, but if it gets near that $60 mark again, I'll probably add another few shares into the growth portfolio. I do want to be careful with the money that I have sitting on the side, especially if we're going to have long-term volatility, at least relatively long-term, throughout another couple weeks or months' time, whatever that time frame happens to be. If we have those severe sell-off sort of days that are broad market sell-offs, those are ones that I would like to be able to buy into. So I'm pacing my money very evenly as we go through this. Finally, the last company that I ordered this morning, or that I bought into this morning, was Snow. So Snowflake Inc., SNOW, and my order was filled for this one at looks like $205. So I got in again. I wasn't very early on this one. I got in sort of right around there. I'll put the line. So that's 205.02, but 2 cents off of $205. Not too bad, but you can see the ride up that it got to take. So today I was fortunate for catching a fairly low price. As a matter of fact, near minimum prices, at least within the days, within the trading day. So that's definitely a day that I can live with. But I also believe that Snow, and this one looks very, had a big old sell-off. It was up at $429 at one point. I don't know if we'll see that again anytime soon, but we see just these prices with these big sell-offs, and I believe Snowflake is big data. So when we look here, 216 off the low estimate of 250, I think that we'll easily get back up to that. It's going to take at least a few months. With these being 12-month price targets, I mean, if it takes a bunch of months, I'm okay with it. This is what about a 20%, less than 20, 15 to 20% gain just to the low analyst estimate. And over a year's worth of time, 15 to 20% on a stock, I will take that. If I could guarantee that for all the stocks that I have, 15 to 20% consistently all year, every year, I would take that absolutely every time, because it beats anything that the markets can do. So this one stock that I have really good certainty over, it's a company that I very much like. It's one that I jumped in on today, and was happy to get the deal on it that I got. So let me summarize. Palantir, with the heavy institutional buying that we have, especially through ARK Invest, adding to their ARK K portfolio, seeing every time that it dips down, it seems to be below that $25 mark that they just keep on adding pretty vigorously into that fund with those shares of Palantir, is good confirmation that they at least see the strength in the company going forward that I see in the company. So I will take that confirmation, and if we see these prices, I could continue to dollar cost average in if I'd like to. PayPal has had a big sell-off recently, and a lot of them have, so I guess that kind of goes without saying. But I do like PayPal as a company. I think that they're going to be turning things around over the long term. I think that I'm also going to see the returns on that one as strength comes back into the tech stocks. So that was another play that I finally bought into. I get to add that one to the growth portfolio. Roblox recently IPO'd and just shot up over $70 so quick. I could never really catch into it. And that one, the revenue, I believe, is under $1 billion. But when you add in the booking revenue that they get, which is a non-GAAP measure, so they can't put it in specifically with their top line revenue, that puts them closer to that $3 billion mark for 2020. So that's much better for their margin that they make after paying off their expenses, and they're expected to grow over time rather vigorously, and so I would like to be part of that growth. So by being able to buy into it, at least now I have a position, even though it's a very small one. It's something that I have in my growth portfolio. You could see it over at the Patreon, and I think that will grow significantly from here over time with Roblox. Snow, I think Snow, after the tech sell-off is over, I think we'll see some strength start to come back to that as well. I don't think that data is going anywhere. Even if you watched Kevin O'Leary and Kathy Wood from ARK Invest today, when they were talking, they both see the future of data. So Snowflake dealing with data as much as they do and really being able to support that is something that really should support Snowflake's success going forward, because I believe they're already part of like 30% of Fortune 500 companies that they have contracts with them. So you can fact check that. I read a lot of things, but I believe that's also something else tied to Snowflake. So my strategy today was to take advantage of the further sell-off that we were seeing, especially in the pre-market hours, and that's a little bit risky because you can see things turn around when the market opens. Maybe it could drop some more, but these are all companies that I believe that over the long run are going to turn things around, and that their stock price is going to go up overall over the long term. So I wanted to either add to my position in the case of Palantir or open my positions with PayPal, Roblox, and Snow. So that's what I have for you today. If you would like to join me over at the Patreon, the link is down in the description. Also, if you need the trading platform, Webull, you can sign up, deposit your $100, get you 2 free stocks. That link is also down in the description. If you haven't already, subscribe, hit the notification bell, hit the like button, share it with your friends. Remember, these videos are for entertainment purposes only. Always do your own research and due diligence. Contact a financial advisor before making any financial decisions. I'm Dr. Stock. Thanks for rocking with me, and go get that money.